Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, I wrote a letter to the Attorney General requesting an investigation into the conspiracy, which I don't think is too strong a word, of the mainstream media, President Biden's staff and family to hide his mental impairment during the course of the latter years of his presidency. This is not a political matter. This transcends politics. When you think about the power that the Constitution vests in the President of the United States, he's Commander-in-Chief. He is a leader of the free world. He is the sole authority that can determine whether America's nuclear arsenal can be unleashed. Given the dangers that the current environment of the world presents, the most dangerous environment we've seen since World War II, we know from history that wars can be precipitated as a result of mistake and miscalculation. And for this conspiracy to have hidden the impairment of the President of the United States for years and to lie consistently to the American people about his capacity to make decisions which are solely vested by the Constitution and the President of the United States is unacceptable. Again, this transcends politics. Obviously, our Democratic friends are having to deal with the consequences of this politically, but what the issue I'm raising is, I believe, far more important. And then the most recent revelations about the President's prostate cancer, we, of course, extend our prayers and wish him a quick recovery from that. But again, the idea that things like this that take years to develop have all of a sudden sprung to the public attention are now being addressed is just incomprehensible. And it is not possible that things like this could have just sprung up now when we know from medical science and medical opinion that these sorts of things take years to develop. So I just don't think it's responsible for those of us in the Senate or in the Congress or the American people to accept this laying down. I think we need to know what the staff knew, what the family knew, who lied to Congress, who lied to the American people, and who risked calamity due to a president who was suffering from severe mental incapacity during the latter years of his presidency. So I hope that we can get to the facts. I think this is serious enough that it bears further investigation by the United States Senate and the United States Congress. And I would ask you to consider the possibility of holding hearings on this topic. I know there may be multiple committees in the United States Senate that might have jurisdiction over this matter, and I hope we can get together with the leadership on the Democratic side and the Republican side and get to the bottom of this. I think it's too much to ask the American people just to accept what we now know to be the facts. And it's dangerous. And our republic depends on having a president who has the mental capacity to do the job. And it's clear now that President Biden did not, and I think we need to get to the bottom of this. And so I would ask all of my colleagues to join me in asking the appropriate law enforcement authorities to do an investigation to see whether any federal laws were violated. And if current law does not provide for an investigation and a prosecution based on existing law, I think as part of our oversight responsibilities, we should consider whether there need to be some policy changes, which are the proper purview of the United States Congress to pass new laws to protect the American people from what we have just been through as a result of a president who was not competent to perform the job, but whose mental capacity or deficits were hidden from the American people for many years.